Hey, we're all here. Why did I just do Alexis G. Fell's intro? Hi. What's up? So, I'm gonna do a brief, little explanation to the video that I'm about to do because it's gotta be timed, so I'm gonna fill you in on what I'm doing before I start. So, there's this video thing going around the internet world lately. I've only seen a few people do it, so I don't know how big of a trend it is, but I feel like it's a thing that I want to jump on the bandwagon for. So it's basically you do this thing where you put on a timer for 10 minutes and you just talk for 10 minutes and you don't edit it at all. So get ready to hear and a lot. But basically, yeah, so you just kind of either you pick a topic or you don't pick a topic. I'm picking a topic. I'm going to talk about anxiety, because what a fun thing to talk about, am I right? So basically, yeah, I'm going to just put on the timer, talk for you. Talk for you? No, you can talk for yourself. I'm going to talk to you for, I was going to say dose minutes, but that's 2. I'm going to talk to you for, sein minutes. That is 10 in German. And go. Okay, so we're going to talk about anxiety today because it's one of those, things, it's a thing right now that everyone's trying to talk about mental health, and I'm super into that because I have mental health issues. Basically, I have anxiety. I really don't like when people romanticize anxiety. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. They romanticize mental illnesses. They're freaking shitty, and we all need to accept that. But it's also not a pity party, you know what I mean? It's not. I'm not sitting here being I have anxiety, everyone should be sad for me, because everyone has issues. This is just mine, and I think that it's good to talk about our issues so we're not pretending to be flawless humans, even though I kind of am. Just kidding. Low-key embarrassed that I said that because I can't cut it out. But anyways, maybe I'll start explaining my form of anxiety. So I have what I would describe as moderate to severe anxiety depending on the day. I have day-to-day anxiety, which just happens. I don't know how to explain it really, but then I also have anxiety attacks or panic attacks or whatever you would prefer to call it. This past year has been the absolute worst for anxiety that it has ever been in my entire life. I've been having lots of panic attacks. I've been having lots of days where I just feel too anxious to do stuff, and it's been super great. I love it. Basically my personal stuff that happens to me is I feel sick, but not actually sick. I get anxious that I'm gonna feel sick, so then I don't feel good because I'm sitting there thinking oh no, what if I get sick? But I don't actually get sick. Do you know what I mean? Knock on wood, just because I don't actually want to get sick. But anyways, that's one of the things that happens to me. But I also just get short of breath. I get irritable. I get kind of a little bit pissed off, to be completely honest, or sad depending on the day. Maybe I'll share with you some of my coping things, what I do to stop feeling anxious. There's a lot of things I try to do. Some of them work, some of them low-key don't, but I do them anyways. One of the ones that was suggested to me by a counselor is to push your feet into the ground and try and focus on feeling the ground, because you can do that anywhere and no one's really gonna notice you're doing it. You know what I mean? That's a good one to do if you're in a social setting and you low-key can't leave. And that one actually does work for me a little bit. It helped me feel centered, kind of. You just kind of calm down a little bit. Another thing that I do is try to do something with my hands. So I've been knitting a little bit because my mom's friend was hey, it helps me when I'm feeling anxious. So I was hey, I'm gonna try it, and it low-key helps me, so that's good. Or I to make hemp bracelets a lot, and that really calms me down. Or anklets. Let me show you. I have one on right now because I usually am always wearing one, and I usually made it when I was feeling a little bit antsy. Feeling a little bit antsy. I also talking really helps me. So sometimes if I'm feeling anxious, I'll just give someone a call, or try to talk to someone who's around me, or vlog or something, because it kind of distracts me a little bit, if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys want to hear about experiences that I've had with anxiety. I've had a lot. Most of the time I can power through ish. This last year has been not a good example, but like my worst experience ever with anxiety, well, no, but like a bad one was I was having a really bad panic attack when I was getting on a plane, and not because of flying, like I fly all the time so I'm not like scared of it, but I had a really bad panic attack and I actually had to get off the plane like because I was too freaked out, and they had to like get my luggage off the plane and the flight had to like get delayed, and it was a mess, and like I'm very sorry to those people because I was fine like an hour later. My anxiety also tends to like kind of just like appear out of nowhere. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. I like couldn't really like specify, like I couldn't be like I am anxious because of this. It's just anxiety. Isn't it great? Don't we all love it? What else can I tell you about it? Oh, I vlogged the other day this like clip about it because I like started feeling anxious, and then I didn't put it in the vlog because I was like, better not. But it's like right now I'm low-key just had to take a quick break because my memory card was full and I couldn't find my other one, so I had to go put stuff on my computer, and then I had to delete it off my memory card, and now I'm a little bit stressed out because I always get scared that it's not going to save properly. But anyways, I paused the timer. I'm not editing anything out. We're just going to jump back into it now. Okay, so I have no idea where I was, so I'm just going to talk. I've kind of like had anxiety as long as I can remember. It's definitely like it's had stages where it's been like super bad, stages where it's been like okay. When I was like really little, like 7, 8-ish, I recall like describing it like when I would feel anxious would usually be at night, and I would always like go to my mom and be like, I feel like something bad is gonna happen, because that's like the feeling that I got. Like I would feel like something bad was about to happen, but I was actually just like, because I didn't know how to explain my anxiety, like I didn't know what it was, you know what I mean? So that's like how I explained it. I've like seen counselors to like talk about, counselor singular, to like talk about it, and she like gave me a whole list of like grounding exercises. Some of them helped, some of them didn't. It just kind of like depends on you. Something that I do when I'm feeling anxious in like a group, and this is not like to help it, this is like a low-key like kind of weird thing that I do, that is when I can like, when people pick up that I'm feeling anxious, I like scratch my hands a lot. I haven't done it for a while, but when I was in like film school, if I was ever feeling anxious in a class, I would like dig at my hands, and my friends would be like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, low-key did not know I was doing that. So that's a thing that I've done, which is like weird. Also, I'm not trying to like make anxiety seem like a joke by like talking about it like in this attitude. It's just that it's something that I have had forever, so I don't feel the need to sit here and be like all like contemplative and like weird about it, you know what I mean? It was like, it's whatever, like it is what it is. I have it, I deal with it, it is part of me. It's like, it's fine, it's not fine, it sucks, but like it's chill, you know what I mean? What else can I tell you about it? I don't really know what else to say. Also, like watching like YouTube videos or like one particular show like will help me. Like I like to watch stuff that is familiar to me if I'm feeling anxious. If there's like no one around to talk to, or if I like don't feel like talking, I'll watch like Gilmore Girls, which I low-key just watch it all the time anyways, but which is why it's so helpful for when I'm feeling anxious, because I know it so well that it's like comforting to me. And also Friends works as well, also Sex and the City works as well. Also like there's like a few YouTubers that I've been watching for like years, so their videos will kind of like help me like chill out a bit. But yeah, like for the most part I don't really let it stop me from doing stuff. Like I have like high functioning anxiety, I think is what it's called. Like I can force my way through it for the most part. Like there are obviously times when I can't, obviously times when I like feel too unstable or whatever, and I have to like stay home and just like chill, which is fine, like to take care of myself, whatever. But for the most part I can like push through. Like I remember I had a really massive anxiety attack before I flew to Australia. For those of you who don't know, I went on like a 3-month student exchange when I was in high school. Best 3 months of my life, like it was phenomenal. But before I got on the last, like not the last flight, the second last flight, but like the longest one, and like my parents flew with me for most of the way. No, they flew with me to LA, and then I like was getting on the last flight, and I had this massive anxiety attack, and like was like freaking out, and I was like, oh no, like I thought I was brave, but I'm not brave. And my dad was like, you're fine, and he was right, I was fine. Like I just needed to calm down. I was just nervous because that was like the farthest I've ever been away from my home, and like that was like the first major trip that I did like by myself. So I'm guessing that's why I felt anxious, but then as soon as I got on the plane I was fine. And then I was fine the rest of the trip. It was phenomenal. I loved it. But that's like something that happened to me. I don't know what else to say about it. I thought I would have more to talk about. Like I said, yeah, like I would consider myself high functioning anxiety, if that's the right way to describe it. I also don't want this to be like, this is what anxiety is, because it's literally different for everyone. Like every single person who has anxiety. You know what really pisses me off? People who like don't have anxiety, everyone has anxiety sometimes, which isn't true in my opinion. Everyone feels nervous sometimes. Everyone has nerves and like can feel anxious, but like feeling anxious and having anxiety are different. So it really bugs me when people are like, oh, I totally know what you're going through. Like sometimes before I have a test I get like nervous, and I'm like, that's not at all, literally not at all what I'm dealing with right now. But like, do you know what I mean? Does that bug anyone else? Because it bugs me. Or, you know, there's like the stigma about it because you can't like physically see it. It's like not real to people, which is like super fun to deal with when people are like, you're fine, and I'm like, no, I'm not, and they're like, you're fine, and I'm like, do you know? Like, you don't know. So that's fun. I literally feel like I have nothing else to talk about. Low-key, I'm almost out of time anyways, so it's chill. But that's my anxiety in a nutshell for you. In a mess of a nutshell, but a nutshell nonetheless. And we're done. So that was a lot of randomness, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. If you want to see like a series or about anxiety, if you have any like questions about like me dealing with anxiety, like ask me and I will talk about it more. Like I'm not sure if this is something that people would like to hear about in like a more structured sense other than this like 10 minutes of talking, because it's been a mess and we all know that. But if you want more about it, or just any videos, if there's anything you want to see from me, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you in my next video.